Welcome to Baggage Claim, the podcast where we take a look at our baggage, we decide what we want to keep, and we decide what we want to check or just throw away. I'm your host, Lauren Osborne, and I'm here with a special guest, Desiree. She would love to introduce herself.
Hello, I'm Desiree. Cat mom, educator. That kind of sums it up in a nutshell.
Okay, I like it. Well, how's your weekend going?
You know, the weekend has been kind to me. I did my usual, so I go grocery shopping every single Tuesday. I'm not Tuesday, shit. Every single Saturday. Mm-hmm. I love Trader Joe's. I love Target. This is not sponsored by either of those companies, but I love both of those companies.
If you do want to sponsor Target or Trader Joe's, like baggageclaimpodcast@gmail.com, a baggage claim podcast.
I've never seen Trader Joe's propaganda.
I don't think they need it.
I don't think so either. Like, we just kind of talk about it and everybody kind of knows what the fuck you're talking about.
I found out through word of mouth. I didn't even know what it was.
Same, my mom. So, my mom was like, there's this new grocery store. I'm like, ooh, grocery store. But I've never seen a Trader Joe's commercial advertisement.
I don't think that they exist.
I don't either. Trader Joe's, do you have a marketing department?
I don't know. I hope so.
Holy cow.
So, okay, so you did your grocery shopping.
Yes, we did my grocery shopping. And then we came home and we literally played like games till it was time to like
Overcooked.
We didn't play Overcooked, but we did play. What did we play? We played Trouble. We played Exploding Kittens, the card game. Mm-hmm. Then we also played far too long of a game of Uno. I won, by the way. I won all three of these games so far. Mm-hmm. Last night, with me. And we also played Kirby Forgotten Land.
Okay.
So that's like the latest Kirby game. Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
It's the Stars, isn't it?
No. It's different than the Stars, and it's different than the one where like he makes friends along the way. Mm-hmm. But it has a co-op mode on it.
Okay.
And so with the co-op mode, I have a Waddle Dee extra.
I'm not even going to let you keep going, right? Because we can go deep.
Yeah.
We're both Libras, you know? It happens.
We don't have to do that, but yeah. Played that too. Played that too. And then we just kind of
chilled.
Yeah, I mean, that really took care of like the vast majority of my day. But I also went to Bastille Day in the Bishop.
I did want to go to that.
It was cute. Mm-hmm. If you bought one of the drink passes, you got a free wine glass. Mm-hmm. Just a Bastille on Bishop or something along those lines. And that was interesting. That was it. Okay. Let's say it had a little mini Eiffel Tower. It was cute. Okay. It was
cute. It was real cute. Mm-hmm. I like it. I had a good week. Mine was productive, and I feel as if I just felt like it was a decent week. No complaints. But as we know, well, one, I always start with, do you feel like you have baggage you want to bring that you want to check in?
You know, I do feel like I have some baggage I could drop.
Okay, cool. Because that's what we're here. We always want to leave feeling lighter. Okay?
Definitely. I don't want to leave any heavy.
Exactly. We don't want to end it there. So I always ask 3 icebreaker questions because I feel like it makes it easier, even though our rapport is fantastic. So, but still, okay? So icebreaker questions. And I feel like it gives our listeners more of an opportunity to get to know you.
Okay, I'm done. Let's do it.
And Stella's back. My dog, everyone. So the first one I always ask is, what did emotions look like in your home growing up?
Ooh. Emotions in my house growing up, if you were my mother, they looked like lots of big emotions. Mm-hmm. And if you were one of the kids, it looked like, let's let's quiet that down. You are not the adult in here. Only one of us is allowed to outwardly be angry. So emotions took on a lot. I'm actually in therapy, like working on all those things, and it's been really great. So I've been dropping off some baggage with my therapist. Love her.
Shout out to therapy.
Shout out to therapy. The woman told me that she thinks that I potentially have some form of PTSD because of like how emotions were in my house. So that was a very valid question.
I think a lot of people growing up in a Black household could have it. No shade, no tea, no shade.
Love my mom.
All love. But I know for sure that I definitely did. But as you know, I was raised in a cult, right? So I can't wait for our cults episode though, because I feel like we got to dig deep. But I want to make sure I'm not the only apostate all up in here having the conversation.
You know, realistically, I'm going to be honest. I'm sure there's been probably posted somewhere where we communicate, but I don't really think I knew that you were raised in a cult. So that's a fun fact for me.
Wow. Yes, I was. First half of my life. So
wow, okay.
It was a lot of indoctrination, but honestly, it didn't work on me, babe. I'm out.
I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you got that worked out.
Thank you. Okay. Good icebreaker. Okay. The second question I'm going to ask is I don't know. Actually, what does joy look like to you?
What does joy look like? Let's see. I would say, I don't know if I have like the proper adjectives to describe what joy looks like, but I know that I feel like joy when I spend time with my cats. I know what it kind of feels like. It's like what experiences bring joy for me. So spending time with my cats, or when I finally finished college, like, because college was hard, guys. College was hard. Transitioning when I moved from OKC to Texas.
Okay.
Those were experiences where I felt joy. I guess it feels kind of related. I know for me, like, if I'm happy enough, happy can also bring about tears. I'm a happy crier.
Yeah, I've never happy cried.
Wow.
Ever. I sometimes think I'm broken, like I can't do it, but I actually think that maybe something hasn't brought me enough joy to like burst out in tears.
Okay, that's understandable. I want you to know that if I become what's the word I want to use for this? If I become inebriated enough, I'll look at my cats and cry, guys. I'd just be like, love.
Okay, I can do that. I can emotionally, like, I can connect and be like, I feel something, but nothing has like a happy ending in a movie that's like swarmy and cute, you know, I can cry at. But literally, have I experienced something else? Even when I got engaged, there were no tears. Even when I got married,
I was thinking that
there were no tears. Like, even like literally, like some of the happiest moments, never tears at the same time.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. But you know, my partner, I've never seen him get so emotionally overjoyed, or even sad for that matter, and cry. But will that nigga cry in a heartbeat watching a show? Yes. We watch anime and cry together. We be like, oh God, we just like really be sitting there like sniffling, watching super over the top fiction.
Yeah, I feel that. I can cry at sad things, just not the joy yet, just not like a happy reason to cry. I'm working on it, and I don't think it's impossible. It just has not happened for me yet.
Yeah, right.
Sober. Let's put it that way. Right? You got to put that.
Definitely got to put disclaimer. Disclaimers. While sober, we want to experience this.
Okay. And let's see. Third question. I didn't know which one I wanted to do, and then I just had it in my mind, and I forgot it mid-conversation. Probably, yeah, my mind just lost it. But I'll say, what, Yo, Stella. Okay. Have you ever been given an ultimatum, right? And did you actually abide, or did you walk away?
An ultimatum, like one that I experienced. So, off the top of the dome, I can't think of an example from my life where I have experienced being given an ultimatum. Now, I will say I definitely think I've made some hard boundaries. I think I've been on the other side of that. But at the same time that they're ultimatums that I'm communicating, it also feels like they're giving me an ultimatum at the same time, because it'll be things like I've been in a position where, like, if it's like my cats, for example, you either take me with the cats, or it's just no, thank you, no, thank you.
Yeah, my dogs are just saying, "You should let me love you." And the thing is, it's like, for Stella being here, she breathes so loud that I know it's going to catch on the mic. But now she's comfortable. You see, she's on her full lay. She's jealous.
I did notice it. Like, Stella's in your lap and she's like spread. She's completely like flat. At peace. She's at peace. It's definitely giving I'm a baby. And the actual baby is like, oh my gosh.
I know. We've got to release her or she's going to make a ton of noise. And I just don't know how everything's going to be handled.
It's fine. Maybe she's ready to try again.
I think so.
Maybe she dropped off some baggage in her little kennel.
She did a lay down. We're good.
Oh,
we're good.
Okay.
Relieved.
She just needed some attention.
Okay, so you said you had some baggage.
Yeah.
Are you ready to drop it? Are you ready to check it in?
Yeah. Friend breakups very genuinely suck.
They're the worst.
I experienced a friend breakup before I experienced like a romantic one, and the moment that while I was experiencing my friendship one, I knew immediately that I did not want to feel this in a romantic way. It hurt so bad already. I was like, there's no way. I was like, this is ass.
Yes.
And I've experienced a couple of like really big ones. So like one with my high school best friend and another one with a friend that I made during my college years. We didn't go to school together, but they worked at a place that I like worked the door at all the time. I used to be in my early 20s, I was a door lady for like events.
Badass. Okay.
There was this one local entrepreneur, and I used to go to all his events. And so one day he just like hit me basically. He's like, "Hey, what do you think about like working at the door?" Basically, like, since you already gonna be there, do you mind helping?
Right.
Anyways, and what was I saying? Oh, so he worked there, and we became friends over time, and it actually like got to be like a really intimate friendship, purely platonic, not like no romance in it and involved in it at all. In both of those situations, it was just like I couldn't imagine what a romantic one would feel like, because the friend breakup was that enough for your girl. But and in both of those situations, we actually just like when people think about like breaking up with their partner, we got back together. In both of those relationships, we got back together, and it was good for a little while, just like people describe like their romantic relationships, and then we broke up again, both times, like both sets.
Recent, like quickly after,
not like maybe 6 months to a year or so after. Mm-hmm. Like maybe in 6 months, maybe saying to not giving it enough credit. Maybe like a year and a half later.
Okay, really trying then and being like, this is so bad.
Yeah. You know what? Not even necessarily, literally not even being like, oh, this is so bad. Like we were spending, in both these situations, we were spending a lot of time together. Okay. And it took with one friendship, it took like one big event that she experienced. Also, my high school best friend, she experienced something with her actual romantic partner. It was wild, crazy. Niggas ended up on the news because they were acting so out of pocket. Like she wasn't on the news, but he was. And then and just leaving her in a really shitty position. And then the other one, we had a disagreement about dog ownership. Can't make this up. I wish I could make this up. We got into it because they want dogs eventually. When they get to a financial place that they have predetermined in their mind, they want dogs. They want 2 dogs, and they always make the joke that they would love to live like an opulent lifestyle, and part of that opulent lifestyle would be to not have to pick up their dog's shit. Like when you take it on a walk, like, you know, making the joke that like if they could, they would just pay somebody to like deal with it. Mm-hmm. And I was just kind of like, I mean, if people who aren't willing to pick up their dog shit, like whether or not you're willing to pay somebody, but like if you just personally aren't willing to pick up your dog shit,
you don't need a dog.
You don't need a dog.
Let me be clear. And I said, you don't need a dog.
Right, because like walking it, cleaning up after it, like that's part of like the intimacy of the relationship. Right. Like your dog is like, oh man, I really love you because you walk me every day. Right. Like you do it. I mean, sometimes other friends do it, but you love me. You know, for me, it's like feeding my cats. That's why I won't get an automatic feeder because I like feeding them. They act a complete fool. Like, I would. They act horrible, but I love feeding them. I think it's fun. It helps build trust with me and routine. Anyways, so I said that, and that did not. I was not received.
But I feel like that would be like, okay.
Right. I feel like there may have been something that they were already upset about, or maybe they were just trying to like get out of the friendship because this was probably a few months shy of my 30th birthday. Mm-hmm. And they were supposed to come, they were one of the people that was supposed to come with us to celebrate my birthday out of town. We were going to LA. I was going to LA for the first time. And I don't know if maybe they were hitting a spot where they didn't want to go, but they didn't want to admit that they couldn't go. Right. I don't know if they were just feeling some way about me. Like maybe I had been getting on their nerve or something, but I didn't know. Right. So that small disagreement, I feel like I can't even justly call it a disagreement, but that conversation that night just snowballed out of control.
Now in the same night, or did it like progress?
Within a week. Like after that conversation, it got heated enough, and I was like, okay, I'll fall back for some days, right? Like not like a month, okay? Right?
But right, you were like, let's just give it some time.
Right, I was like, I have boundaries. I can respect boundaries. Like I'll give you some air. Maybe you'll hit me since you're the one that's upset. Like I'm not upset. Right. Maybe you'll hit me up when you feel like it.
Right.
Feeling better. Anyways, so I want to tell you within like a week or so, like everything just kind of dissolved. I could be being a bit dramatic, but it was definitely less than a month, and it wasn't.
I feel like sometimes things dissolve quickly. Like it starts to literally. It's not like quicksand. It is literally like crumbling in front of you, like quickly. Things can crumble quickly.
Yeah, for my, the brain is they like to trick you. It likes to trick you, but I feel like I remember it being fairly quick.
Mm-hmm.
And that one was really hurtful because it all ended with a really shitty text message. Like a really messed up text message.
Like mean?
Definitely mean spirited. Like definitely wanting to hurt my feelings. And knowing that would definitely hurt my feelings.
Okay.
Because they're my friend.
Right.
They're supposed, like, they know intimate information about me.
Right.
Things that would definitely make a bitch cry.
Right.
Hurt my feelings.
Fuck you, dude.
Bro. And that was after like a long journey to getting back to being friends. Like troubling, me wanting to rekindle me. I didn't want to stop being friends the first time. Mm-hmm. It wasn't me. It was them that time also. And so I don't know what happened still, but it definitely hurt my feelings, and I feel like the mean and nasty text message that came with it just was like over the top. That was what probably said that let me know that we couldn't try again.
Right. That was like the end.
Mm-hmm.
This is the end. This is the end. Okay. And now, have you seen the person since?
I have not. I don't know where they are. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know where they've chosen to live. I don't even know what state they're in.
And do you even care?
A little part of me does. I care that they're well. As cheesy as that sounds. Because I feel like
so bad. Why?
I feel like ultimately, like, despite them saying what they said, like, I still care generically enough about their well-being. Like, I don't want them to be, when I say, like, I hope that they're doing well, I mean, like, I hope that you're not sick. I hope that you're not dead. I don't want you to be dead. I don't want you to be sick. I don't want you to be homeless. Things like that. Like, I want you to be functioning, though. But fuck you. You don't ever have to worry about talking to me again. But I'm also not.
Where's your Libra-ness? I feel the balance. And I feel like maybe because I'm a cusp, I'm so different. I'm very much I wish you everything that you deserve kind of person. So they can interpret it how they want. I mean, I know what I think, but I'm not them, but they do. They know their deepest, darkest thoughts. They know how they treat people. And I feel like I'm not perfect. I'm a flawed human being. I'm a human being. So I that's why I say for people like that, things end abruptly and not well either. Like they were disrespectful or they were insulting. That's when I say, you know what? It's not even I wish you well, because that's a lie for me. I wish that person every single thing that they deserve. I mean,
I didn't realize what she was.
Oh, Tina has her snack.
She's like later,
right? But I mean, but that could be, the jaded side. That could be like the life comes at you fast. No, life just comes at you. I don't know if it's even fast or not, but I feel like I just don't have the capacity to wish someone well that I don't care about anymore. And not only that, but that I once cared about that treated me so poorly, because I think sometimes, especially with friend breakups, the ones that really count are when you never thought this person would do that to you or treat you that way or say that thing to you. And I feel like when they do, you understand that you're really dead to me, like cremation in the air. in the sea, you know?
She started to cry.
I know. You guys, we're going to take a quick break. So please check out these ads. And as always, we really appreciate you listening to Baggage Claim. And please rate and subscribe. We will be right back.
Cool gets to talking about their dogs.
Hey, listeners, we're back as we are on the debate of cat people and dog people. And all
so far.
So what were you saying? Because she wanted to make it categorically clear that she is a cat owner and a cat mom and a cat person.
Cat person through and through. Hey, all you cat people out there. Yeah, cats over dogs. I have nothing against dogs. I like dogs. I love animals in general. But I do prefer cats. If you throw me a kitten and a puppy, I'm going to ask to hold the kitten while I use the other hand to just kind of like play with the puppy, but I want to hold the kitten.
Wow. Now I would be the opposite personally. And I can say that I think I'm more of a dog person just in general, but also I'm very allergic to cats. Very allergic. So I don't know. My first pet that was like my own that I picked was a cat named Snowball that I ended up rehoming to my neighbor. Her name was Lauren also, because I couldn't breathe and my eyes were swelling shut and I'd try to wake them up. So, but we cuddled and it was emotional and it was intimate and I still am picking dogs and I do think that it could be the allergy, but probably not. I just feel like man's best friend. I mean, dog is God spelled backwards. Okay? Whatever you believe.
Oh, that's their favorite trick, but it's fine. It's fine. Like I said, I still like dogs. I'm just choosing violence. I feel like cat people are far too polite. I'm choosing violence.
Wow. Okay. Well, to each their own. To each their own. Okay, so since it's baggage, right? We're back on baggage claim. We're talking about a friendship breakup, which I have had. I have yet to tell the story of, I've had a few. I think everyone, I don't want to say everyone has them, but they happen, and things change. I feel like I haven't gone into my most, extensive, expensive, and biggest, friendship breakup. I did go through that in 2020. I haven't shared the story on the podcast because I'm ready, but I'm not even, because there's so many layers to this that it could be multiple episodes of baggage. But just know that the nickname that I give her is the extortionist. So I totally understand. Yeah, I totally get that. How did you heal from it? Are you still healing from it?
I would say that I'm still healing from it. It definitely doesn't hurt the way it used to, but I think my ideal place to be would be to not think about it at all.
And you still think about it?
Occasionally. Especially since I live here in Dallas now. I moved to Dallas during the pandemic, so I think I've shared this with you. Like, I just don't have a lot of friends
here.
Well, yes, here in Texas.
Yes.
Yet. I don't have a lot of close friends yet, and these are adult friendships that I had for most of my formative years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a little harder to move on from. There's a lot of things that are still very actively a part of me that are connected back to experiences I had with those people.
Okay.
The way I feel about certain songs, the way I feel about certain memories when I go do something. I'm like, oh God, that reminds me of this one night. And it was still a good night. Even though me and that person aren't friends anymore, this was still a good night.
Right.
But I want to have those memories, but then not pause to think about wonder how they're doing.
Right.
I don't want to feel anything when I really think about it. That's where I want to be. Like, I don't get worked up. It's not like I need to rant or vent about it anymore. I haven't even talked about it in therapy, but I would like to just kind of feel super apathetic towards it. It's like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
That happened.
I can say from personal experience, it definitely does. It definitely does. It really gets to you get to kind of maybe this face, and then you get to a face.
Wow, that's exactly where I want to be. That's perfect.
Yeah, just a little meh.
Both of those. Like, I like that transition. Like, I wasn't sure if I was doing a good job summing it up in words, what I was talking about.
Yeah.
And lo and behold,
I got it. Instantly connected. We're going to do a quick break because, as you can hear, the girls are barking in the background.
I didn't do it this time.
Thank you, as always, for listening to Baggage Lane. We will be right back. Hey, listeners. Welcome back to Baggage Lane, the podcast where we take a look at our baggage, choose what we want to keep, and choose what we want to toss, because everyone has baggage. It's just what you choose to carry. And we are back. We've been talking about like different types of friendship, breakups, and life, and etc. Just baggage all around. And I was explaining that for me, as morbid as this sounds, like if I ran into an ex-friend, a breakup, and I would pick one that I think was a bad one, because I actually don't really think about the person anymore. And I feel like that's growth. But I feel like in the moment, I don't even know if it'd be like a loud or something very like cold and calculated. Like, this sounds so messed up, but like, I'm not the bigger person. Like, I'd want to humiliate. Like, I know, shame on me, but like, let's be real.
It's just funny because, you said that you would find a way, you had just shared that you would like find a way to humiliate her. But then you were like saying, like, you don't know if you would be like, you basically like if you would blow up or if you would be like cold. And I paused. I was like, oh, no reaction? I was like, she's going to ice her out? Then you said cold and calculated. I was like, oh no, the revenge is still there. Just kidding. But say I just needed to pause. Like, she's definitely going to get her back.
I mean, I know that some things the universe will do for you.
Absolutely.
And I believe that. But sometimes you can give things a little push along the way, because you never know when an opportunity comes a knocking. What are you going to do? Close the door? And I feel like this person, this extortionist, I also have I already have my karma, like in different ways, but it also cost me a lot. So that's why I, as well, probably fucked up and cold-hearted as I sound, and I generally am not. I try to lead with kindness, but I just feel like if you go low, I'm going to hell. So, yeah.
I respect it. I absolutely respect it. Both of these people, oh my God, it's so funny. Both of these friend breakups, one of them is a Virgo, like through and through.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is a Scorpio, like through and through. And I am the Libra in the middle. And I feel like either one of them, if I had been the one who had did something, or just if someone out in general had did something to cross them, I feel like they each would have found a way to enact some type of, I'm gonna get you, like there's gonna be karma, and I may be either calculating it along the way, I may have a plan in the reserve, or in a little bit of it's going to happen organically. And I just think that that's funny, because you were saying like you're closer to the cusp, whereas like when I say Libra, I mean
you're okay. Wait, when is your Libra?
I'm an October 7 Libra. October 7.
Okay.
So 1 week after the start of Libra season. Like, I'm prime Libra. My sun sign and my no, not my sun sign, but my rising sign. No, it was my sun sign. Good list. My my sun sign is Libra. That's the sign that you're born under, and my moon is also a Libra. My rising sign, the one that you kind of present yourself as, or like the one that you kind of lead with first. That's the one that you're supposedly. That's what they say. That's the one that you should read the horoscopes for. Is an Aries. So I have a fiery onset. Like when you first meet me, I come off very confident, very loud, like, hey, like what's going on? Like I'm not really shy. But once we start talking about something and there any situation that may need a drip drop of diplomacy, here it goes. Here goes the full Libra situation. I'm like, well, actually, I don't know. I don't know. Let's think about it a little bit, guys.
I feel like I can be very diplomatic, but I'm also very judicial, and I feel very much not, because I'm an ACAP girl, very much not in the law and order sense, but a very much a crime and punishment sense, you know? I think that's the scale too, personally. Granted, I just watched The Glory, so I might be feeling just extra intense about it. I've always kind of had that in my personality. I always, or just when, even from youth to now, is very much like a, observe so you know. And I never really, I guess I always felt like if you wronged me, I'm not necessarily going to wrong you back, but I might like nudge a wrong along that might run into you. And I've always kind of been that way, which isn't a good thing. It's kind of fucked up.
I kind of wish I had that. I kind of wish I had that. I don't have that in me. And that's not like oh, I'm better than anybody. I genuinely wish I had a little bit of that in me. Like, I would love to be a little spicier.
I feel like it's I actually receded for a long time. But then I feel as if, honestly, like a few situations that were like domino effects really lit something in me. Just a reminder that like the longest relationship I'm going to have and the most intimate one I'm going to ever have is going to be most likely, and I actually know for a fact, with my reflection in the mirror. And I found like there was this part of me that was like, are you really going to take that? You're just going to take that? No, not today, and not ever. And that was it.
That was beautiful. I wish, like, it's not that I don't have an intimate relationship with self, but the relationship I have with myself leads me to just be like,
well, no, that's what I mean. No, that's what I mean. I'm like, I realized that like the part of me that I feel like I was like pushing away and making it so for me personally was, it's okay. I'm just going to let it slide. I'm going to be the bigger person. And I wish more that I was like the bigger person. But when I look into like my truest self, I've realized I'm not.
I think my it's okay comes out of, that sounds like a lot of work. It's cool.
Yeah.
I can't even make this up. This is, like I said, it's not out of a virtuous. This is not coming from a virtuous place. This is coming from a, I don't, you know what? Like people would tell me something about it. I'm just like, man, that sounds badass as fuck. I'm like, yeah, but I'm
right.
I don't want to take the time to do that, and so then it just like it's not it on its own does not come about. I'm just like, it's cool. I'm just, vent about it.
Right? Vent about it, move on. I feel like I just can't.
I do hold grudges though.
Yeah.
I'm a grudge holder. I be damned. Now, I may not do anything to get you, or I may not nudge anything a long way, but I won't fucking forgive you. I'll tell you that much though.
I feel like
I'm not very forgiving. That's where mine comes on the other side. Like I'm not the most forgiving. Like I can take a lot, but I'm also, once I've hit a certain threshold, it's like a permanent fuck you.
That's fair. That's fair. I feel like I think I can forgive. They may not know I did, though. I mean, maybe. I think it's possible for me, but I feel like I gotta choose. Like, are you worth forgiving? And
also, I don't feel like forgiving is. I don't feel like you have to communicate when you are forgiving somebody. Mm-hmm. Like, if y'all are still, if the person that you're forgiving is still actively in your life after said event,
right?
Then it'll be communicated in the existence of y'all's relationship that
it's still there,
or that you're forgiven.
Right.
Like whatever the outcome is, you'll be able to tell, like, oh, okay, they're good now. We're good now, or you'll be able to tell, like, damn.
But aren't you supposed to say literally verbatim? I don't want to say supposed to. Isn't it that you're supposed to be like, I forgive, and then they know? I guess that's if you choose to.
But also, that's if you choose. That's just if you choose to be involved with that person still. So let's say you're not though. Let's say you go no contract with that person after said event. Mm-hmm. But over time, you are now in a place to where when you think about it, it's just you feel nothing. You're not worried about it. If the opportunity came along that you could give a nudge to, you just wouldn't care to act on it. You probably, or even let's just say you make the active choice to forgive that person. If you're zero contact with them, if you're no contact with them, you don't need to call and tell them I forgive you. They can just be
right. Well, I feel like forgiveness is for the individual, right? It's for the person forgiving, not for the other person receiving it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
That's why I feel like you don't have to communicate it. It could be. Sure. Oh, I've moved on.
Mm-hmm.
So that person can come to me like, oh, well, I thought you were still mad. No, I'm good. Well, why didn't you say that? I was like, I just didn't think I needed to. It's okay. I'm good. And genuinely mean it. Not like I'm good. Not that I'm good, y'all. Not the one that it means I'm not good. I mean, the one that actually means that you're good. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, I'm solid. I'm straight. We're straight. Hey, do you need help? Like y'all are at the same event. Do you need me to walk out to your car with you so that we don't get got? Like, we're good. I'm not. I may not let you back in.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily an invitation to come back.
Right.
But we're good.
I got you. That makes sense. I feel like I can do that too. But usually I can't. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I'll just, I'll be polite. But I'm not really ever going to fuck with you anymore.
Now, because I hold a grudge though, me holding a grudge is not always quiet. Holding a grudge does not mean that I'm quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Holding a grudge could be, if we're in the same space, I may actively let it be known I'm not fucking with you.
Okay, that's fair.
I may be like, oh, no, I'm not going to sit. No, because there's another seat I can sit, but I don't want to sit by this person. I'm distancing myself.
Right.
I'm that kind of, I'm petty.
So for this person, the friendship breakup that we talked about earlier,
mm-hmm.
Where are you at now? I know you said you hope they're doing well,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there forgiveness? Is there,
mm-hmm.
There's not.
Mm-hmm.
And is there a grudge or is there not?
I feel like the grudge is enveloped in the I'm not going to forgive. Like, that is the grudge.
Okay.
I'm not going to forgive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not actively putting thought into it every day. I'm not waking up and thinking, I don't forgive this person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not waking up thinking that. It's not on my mind. I'm not just walking around. Now, you said we can choose what to keep. That's something I will be keeping. That's a grudge that I will be keeping.
Ah, I didn't know a souvenir could be a grudge.
My souvenir is a grudge. I will not forgive the person.
That's fair.
No, they said it was just so hurtful. There's just no need.
Foul. I think malice. Right?
What?
Like malice is when you do something to intentionally because you know it's going to hurt the person. So if you like sent the text and it was malicious. Like
it was absolutely malicious. It had to do with my cats who had passed away, and it was just mean. It's mean and nasty.
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's why I won't forgive them.
Yeah.
Like, if it would have been mean and nasty and about me, like, without insulting my dead fur babies along the way.
Right.
It's the fact that you said something about them.
Mm-hmm. You crossed the line.
That was, like, absolutely not. You cannot come back from that. I would judge me for letting you come back from that.
And there it is, that's what I meant when it was like that intimate relationship. It's when you look at me and you're like, I can't even, you can't even be cool with this person. Like, it's over. Like, it's over. Yeah. So, and it happens that way. Oh, well, they should have known. And honestly,
they had to. Right? There's no way they didn't.
But, right, we're leaving lighter, right? So how, I guess, right, you've checked them in here, right? And prior to getting here, to getting on this podcast, how did you check them in? Like, how did you start to, step away and know that it's like, no, fuck you. Well, the text, but like.
The text. I thought sometimes life is hard. Life is not always pretty or aesthetic. Sometimes life just fucking sucks, right? Mm-hmm. And but I thought there was a poetic moment in it because talking to me about my cats was how they re-entered my life when we got the friendship back together. Mm. So the first time the friendship fizzled out, nothing bad really happened. They just started distancing themselves and everything just fizzled out. I gave them the space that was clearly being implied, and I was like, okay.
Right.
And then they used the situation with my cats to hit me up again on social media and be like, hey, how's it going? Because they knew that I would be so sad about my cats. And so they were like, hey, I just wanted to check in on you. That's what I mean by, like, when I said, like, I hope that they're doing well, I felt like I hope that initial comeback was genuine, right? Like, they had heard through the grapevine that something had happened, something tragic had happened to my cats. They know how I felt. They knew how I felt about my cats from our previous relationship. And they wanted to reach out to be like, hey, I heard, I hope you're okay. All right. I know that's hard for you.
Right.
Okay. Like hearing that an old friend's mom passed away. Like, right. You just be like, hey, I heard,
to check in and
hope you're okay. And I hope that initial interaction was genuine, because that's not part of the grudge. But it came in so gentle. What seems to be so gentle and genuine about my cats, and it all went in flames because of something hurtful they said about me. So you see what I'm saying? It's like it's like a very full circle moment. Okay. Maybe that was supposed to be the last rotation.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, maybe.
Right. I feel like there's something poetic there, coming and going the same way.
Well, and I also understand, like, getting the breadcrumbs. I really always kind of hate when I get the breadcrumbs when, like, I had a friendship breakup, and this person, I knew that she was like kind of a token, actually. And I recognize that as a former token. And but she would always get me on the black girl magic of it all. And I remember one of the times she actually asked me about she asked me about a hair product. I knew she didn't know. And on other things, she would like ask me about things that I'd be like, oh, try this, or maybe try that, just things that like, the melanated queens know. And it just didn't work last time. I just was like, no, I cannot, because what you've shown me time and time again, and I'm done, right? Because one of the last podcasts, I was like, why does this keep happening with certain people? And they were like, it's because you're nurturing. And then my therapist called me out. It's like, it's because you like to feel needed. And I was like, yeah. She was like, so then you can perform to show that you're good because that's how you were, And I was like, okay, thank you. That's why I pay you. But you didn't have to call me out like that. I feel attacked. But I felt like, and I'm really recognizing my own growth, my own strength, and recognizing like it's not worth it. Even the little, but maybe you know better. So what's the but maybe, right? And for me, I have to recognize, well, okay, well, maybe it's just the little Lauren that wants to be seen, that wants to be heard, that wants to be needed, like not just as a figure, like a figurine, right? But as a person, right? With a mind. I think sometimes that could pop out. And so I don't know. It feels kind of like a mixed bag of emotions, but I think I get where sometimes when a person, I think that's why friendship breakups hurt so much, and they're so intimate. I mean, I swear, sometimes that last one, my extortionist, that one hurt like, I think it hurt more than getting divorced. Okay. And I'm standing on that. Because it just feels like, that friend is your friend. They like know you know each other, you have the inside jokes, and it wasn't based on, I just dropped an earring. It wasn't based on anything that was a physical intimacy, because it was platonic and you had this person that was so extremely close to you that I think it's jarring. And I think that sometimes you'll question yourself or if you did something. And of course, it is good to be objective. It's good to take accountability for maybe your parts in it. But it's also very wise, especially as a prior, people pleaser, a good performer, to recognize also, like, do you feel like your authentic, genuine, realist self, right? Your center, what is it? What's the word called? I can't think of it, but like your core self, that's what it is, around this person. Are you making concessions? Are you changing things? Especially when you try to be a friend again, like there was a hiccup and things got revealed about one another, about how one another behaves in different types of situations. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to try again. And then it's like, am I stepping on eggshells just to even kind of kick it with you? And then I kick it with you enough that then I just stop caring about the things that kind of bother me that you're, pulling, right? And I feel that about, she was a Virgo though, so interesting.
Oh my God. I think I mentioned earlier, like my first one was a Virgo. The one that there's no coming back from, unfortunately, it was a Scorpio, upholding stereotypes about Scorpios.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry to this man or woman.
Right. It's fine. But I feel like that's worth mentioning, because that's just because the one that it didn't really go out in flames. It didn't go out in flames like this one did. It was more palatable.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you outgrew each other? Because you said high school, right?
Yeah.
And you stopped being friends when?
We stopped being friends like the first time during freshman year of college.
Right. Okay. Par for the course.
And it was just kind of like, I don't really know, like our lives just started taking really different routes. Like something came up with her mom and she moved in with her grandpa, and just life started happening for us in very different ways. But and that ultimately dissolved how things were. And then fate, I don't know, life, I won't say fate, that's dramatic, but life,
the fates
circled us back around to each other, and we were able to be present for each other during really important phases in that second round. Things that you are going to want a close friend around for when this happens. For her, it was losing her mother, and for me, it was losing my brother.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be there for each other because someone who's known me since high school is going to have a far deeper understanding of, like, I just lost my brother.
Yeah, the loss, and the impact of the loss.
Right, and what that means for my life. And then same thing for them. Wow, like, you lost your mother. And it wasn't in, like, the sudden tragic way. It was just like, it was sudden and then drawn out at the same time. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, but something poetic with the way that one ending, though, that to me, I find life being poetic with this friendship as well, was that probably our junior year of high school. I'm still living at home, obviously, and
of college?
No, high school.
So this was freshman year that y'all stopped being friends of high school.
No, we were friends. We became friends sophomore year of high school. We were friends sophomore year of high school through most of the first year of college.
Okay.
Then we broke up, and then we got back together. The same year, she lost her mom and I lost my brother at the same year. So it was my senior year of college then.
Okay.
So I was nearing the end.
Timeline. Got it.
But going back to the beginning, it's our junior year of high school, and it's Sunday, I'm at home. And my grandpa was still living at this time, and so him and my grandmother came over for Sunday dinner. That's what we did at my house. My grandmother was not the one who cooked. My mom is the one who cooks Sunday dinner. Nice. So old folk committee has showed up. I was like, all right, woo-woo. And my grandpa invited a friend over, and I was just so amused. I was like, Papa has a friend? Never heard him. I've never heard this man talk about a friend. I'm 16, 17 years old. I've never once heard him mention a friend who's still alive. Right? I'm like, oh, this is exciting.
Right.
Because I like old people, right? So I'm like, oh, this is exciting. And my grandpa, I'm worth mentioning, my grandpa is this like high yellow black man with a soft hair. Okay. And this other high yellow black man walks in the door, and they've been buddies since high school.
Gotta stick together.
Right.
Just kidding.
They're shooting the breeze at each other. They know my grandmother has also been around since high school. My grandparents are high school sweethearts. So, like, all three of them, they're chit-chatting, having a great time. Anyways, at some point, this other gentleman, he brings up his granddaughter, and it comes out that me and her go to the same high school. Like, oh, really? I'm like, well, what's her name? I wonder if I know who she was. Right. Our school's not huge. Like, yes, I went to an inner city public school, but we're not a huge school. Like, if I know the name, I know the name.
Right.
And it's my best friend.
That is.
It's my best friend. And so our grandpas are buddies, but I later on found out that our grandmothers were also close friends. Now, by this point, her grandmother has, I believe, already transitioned. And, but my grandmother is, like, regaling me with the stories. But my grandmother also lets me know that they had a falling out, and that's why they're not friends. My grandma had, just shared her perspective on, like, how things were towards the end of the friendship and, like, what kind of costed to be done at the end. And so I was just like, oh, okay. So when we broke up the first time, I was just like, wow, just like our grandmothers. And then when we broke up the second time, I was just like, maybe that's just how it's meant to be. Right. Maybe that's just where the story stops. Like, it dissolved. We brought it back around. And when we dissolved the first time, it was so funny. People thought that, like, people who were acquainted with us, but, like, it was a hard one because everyone associated seeing one with the other. Yeah. It was like, where's your friend? Yeah, it's like, where's your friend at? And one of our mutual friends was one of my cousins. Now, he has cousins, like, truthfully, like, it was my second cousin. So, like, our parents were first cousins. So, like, we're not, like, super close cousins. Like, we didn't grow up together per se, but, like, I know that that's my blood.
Right. Right.
And, he was like, damn, he was like, are y'all fucking? I was like, no. Because that's just how intimate it's on it. Forgive him, y'all. That was a long time ago. Misogyny is rampant in the Black community. But,
in all communities. In all communities.
Sorry, guys. It's true. It's all. Let
the women do the work. Thank you, Jillian and Patrick from True Crime Obsessed, my favorite podcast.
And so, damn, I don't remember what I was saying, but nonetheless, it was another poetic moment. So I felt like maybe that's just the way it's supposed to be. Because I thought, that's what I was saying. Because I thought it was kind of odd, like kind of right on time how we circled back around just in time for me to be there while her mother passed away and for my brother to pass away.
You were there for each other in the time that you needed it. And so that's where you can find almost I don't want to say beauty, but I want to say deep compassion for one another, and where that relationship was really, you were each other, and like that could be something that you could take away from it.
Yeah. So that one that's a totally different thing. That second one, that one was fucked up, man. It's fucked up. That's why I'm here to drop it off.
We're here to drop it off. Look, we're almost done with this episode. We're flying by, and you already told me what you were keeping, right? Which was the grudge. That's your souvenir.
I'm keeping the grudge. Fuck you.
What are you checking in?
I'm checking in. Honestly, I want to check in that whole second phase.
Okay.
I want to check it all in. I also would like to keep the souvenir of how we came back into the friendship. Because, like I said, I hope that was genuine, and I hope that was really how they felt upon hitting me up. But everything that happened in the middle of that, they can keep it. Dang, I keep thinking I have one more souvenir to keep.
Okay.
There's a playlist during that second round. Me and my partner, we broke up for a week, and it was sick. And that's how I know that friendship breakups hurt probably worse.
They hurt worse. I'm saying this personally. I feel like they hurt worse.
I was like, my heart. But they were there for that, and I appreciate that. And they made me a really banging ass playlist.
I love it.
Okay, it's a good breakup playlist. I can't even front. Okay, like I can keep the grudge, but I also can't. I'm not gonna be lying. The playlist is fire. Okay, fuck that. The playlist is fire. And so I'm keeping the entry. I'm keeping the grudge, and I'm keeping the playlist.
Okay, and you're tossing the try again.
Everything else. Tossing it. I don't need it. It's dead weight.
Right? I feel like it's like good, perfect baggage to leave. Do you feel lighter?
I feel lighter.
You feel lighter?
Right?
Well, I feel like we were in like the airport waiting room, so let's toast before you kill it. Cheers. Can you tell the listeners where they can find you?
Okay, so you can find me on any social media platform that you're interested in. I don't post a lot, but I am worth the follow. You can find me at Government Hooker, so GUVNENTHOOKER, Government Hooker. You do have to say it like government. It's not government.
Government.
Shout out to Lady Gaga.
Government.
Like with the southern twang.
Government.
Huge Lady Gaga fan. Shout out to Lady Gaga. That's my bitch. That is the name of a Lady Gaga song that I have always loved. And fuck, first friendship. She was the one who thought of that handle for me. Shout out to her. I've been using it ever since.
A souvenir.
Oh,
We'll take it.
I'm keeping the social media handles. I refuse to change it. I love it too much.
I love that. We did our cheers. We have the handles. We have where people can find you. You guys, if you ever want to submit your baggage, even if you don't want to be on the podcast, you just want to read aloud, you just want to unpack, please reach out anytime. You can find us on TikTok at Baggage Claim Podcast. You can email us at baggageclaimpodcast@gmail.com. And then if you just want to send a voicemail, just leave a message. If you want it played, tell us. If you don't want it played, we won't. And call us at 909-375-3033. Thank you, as always, so much for listening to this podcast. Thank you, Desiree, for joining me on this episode. And remember that everyone has baggage. None of it ever looks the same. And it's literally what you choose to carry, because some shit is too heavy and you can drop it off. And my other thing I always like to say is I think the biggest thing that we should check in general, you guys, is shame. Leave it. No one needs it.
Boo. Tomato.
Right. Boo. Tomato. As always, thank you so much for listening to Baggage Claim, and we will see you next time.